formalities first. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Keeney, Lieutenant Colonel Steele, for your words. I really do appreciate it. Master Guns, please try to remember what happens in Wisconsin stays in Wisconsin. I just wanted to say that. I wanted to especially thank Sergeant Majors that came. First off, Sergeant Major Felice, who we were 3-1 together, and really impacted a lot of things I did and wanted to become. When you first checked in, it was hard for me to hear him because he's got a thick Mexican accent. But you know, him being from LA, I excuse him from that. Sergeant Major Radicos was my first sergeant when I had tow platoon with that kid right there with all the hair. And once again, I took a lot from what his patience when dealing with Marines affected how I would effectively talk to Marines. And I appreciate that. Sergeant Major Casey. There's not enough words I can say about Sergeant Major Casey, except for this. In my mind, the greatest compliment a infantry Marine can give a non-infantry Marine is this right here, and I told you just before. I would take a bullet for you in a heartbeat. And I mean that when I said it the first time, I mean it today. On that note, over the past couple of months, there is also another non-infantry Marine that I can now say I would do that for. Staff Sergeant Sandoval, I would take a bullet for you in a heartbeat. My family, my mom coming in from South Carolina, her husband Randy, my sister Tess, my nephew Trenton, Christine, who I've known for like 30 years now. We both went to high school out here, and her mother. My wife Jen, who the past 9 years has put up with a lot, more than what she needed to. To Cody, formerly known as Sergeant Aldis, formerly Corporal Aldis, formerly Lance Corporal Aldis, formerly PFC Aldis, formerly Private Aldis. I'm fine. I really am glad to see that you're getting help and you're better now. You look good, and I attribute that to your second half that's sitting next to you right now. Still waiting for Princess Leia. To Jensen, holy crap, I ain't seen him in 30 years. So one of the opportunities I had to do, and people, when I tell them this, they say, no, you don't. Jensen is actually the first and only Marine I actually got to write a fit rep on. My platoon commander was gone, so that made me the platoon commander. So I, as a gunny, wrote a fit rep. Of course, when I pushed it up to the boss to take a look at, he's like, what is this? Like, no periods, no commas. UG, good Marine, UG, good sergeant. But thank you for coming out here. 22 years. Like I said, I first joined in 92, got out in 96. I call that my 2 years of leave. I had to readjust my brain and get things going. See, I was like a lot of young Marines going to boot camp. You end up going to your first duty station, schoolhouse, whatever. And I had the same plan all these young Marines always have, even today. I'm going to get out, I'm going to go to college, and life's going to be grand. I got out, I went to college, and I could not assimilate within the civilian populace. The first job that I had out of the Marine Corps was at Applebee's. And this is just how I could not assimilate as a waiter. Well, that first time you gotta follow the person around, right? You're not allowed to take orders, you're just there to monitor. So And the guy and his wife are sitting at a table, and he says he's ready to order. I'm like, I can't take your order, sir. I apologize, I can't. I'm just brand new. You don't understand me, son. I want to take it. You need to take my order right now. So very elegantly, I went ahead and took his drink order. I went back, grabbed the drinks, walked by the waitress that was mentoring me, teaching me, said, I'm done. Went to the table and proceeded to drop the glasses on the table, and it just spread all over the place. And I walked out of that. Not saying it's the right thing to do, but that's what I did. I'm an open kimono type of person when it comes to the Marines. As Colonel Keeney said, and I'm honestly, I'm not proud of this. I will, and I have lied to my family, my friends, and my loved ones. And I'm not proud of that. But I have never lied to a Marine. For me, that's important because, especially in the infantry, if there's any doubt in your Marine's mind that you're not telling the truth, then how can they trust you on the combat field? So I've never lied to a Marine. If a Marine asks me a question I don't know, I don't know. The honesty I got from the Marines, and where they first started teaching me how to get with them, be with them, learn who they are. Sergeant Major Galecko. He was my first sergeant at Fox Company. And funny enough, my dad was his commanding officer when he was a young Lance Corporal. So right away when he gets there, I already got a target on my back. He was already gunning for me. But I learned a lot from you too, Mark, and I appreciate it. I've given I'm not politically correct. I've never been politically correct. Before I came in here, I talked to my dad, and he said, "Whatever you do, don't drop any F-bombs." So I'm trying very hard not to allow that to happen. I've always told Marines I hate them. I hate all Marines. But when I say that, I mean I love them. I will. I'll take care of anybody. Over the past 15 or so years, my call sign / nickname has been Pappy. And I had a first sergeant ask me once, it's like, what, do you baby your kids? I was like, no, I don't baby them. If they do a good job, I'll freaking pat them on the butt. If they're not doing what the hell they're doing, then they get a foot in the ass. At the end of the day, it didn't matter if I liked a Marine or didn't like a Marine. I treated them fairly. That's what I try to do, is keep an even keel. There have been many Marines out there where just the sight of them curdled my blood. Sergeant Adams, are you in here? Not that I'm pointing anybody out. Oh, there you are. But at the end of the day, I will take care of that Marine. Unfortunately, though, what has made the time and energy that I put in to the Marine Corps and to the Marines themselves has taken away from my personal life. And no matter how many times people have told me this or said this, the Marines came first, always. And to me, that wasn't just something I said, it was something I did. To the point where it affected family life, family back home in South Carolina, friends. But that's what made me what I was as a good Marine. So, I tell some of my friends this, I feel like I'm a great Marine, horrible person on the outside dealing with civilians. And that includes family, and I apologize. And so hopefully today's the last day, and then I start to become who I need to be again. This is surreal. I never thought that I would be here right now. And I've been at retirement ceremonies, and people have said that because they didn't think they would ever re-enlist. There was a time, honest to God, that the reason I thought I wouldn't be here is because I'd still be in Iraq or Afghanistan. You know, that was my thought process. I'm a grunt till the day I die, and I was going to die in combat. I never thought I'd see retirement. So those Marines that are deploying this year, God forbid anything happen. I know a lot of y'all are like, yeah, we need to go fight. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, not that great. But if you do go, will one of you please find that Haji son of a bitch that blew me up and put one right between his frickin' eyeballs for me? I would greatly appreciate that, since I no longer have the opportunity to do that. Nick. I've known Nick, aka Gunner McDonald, for quite a while now. And I know you showed up late. I need to take your hand. This man right here, sheets at full. All right? But is one of the most tactically proficient Marines I've ever seen. Spent time, as I said before, with 18 Tollison. Ended up going to Afghanistan with Charlie Company. Yes, really. The name will go unmentioned, but we're not dealing with squirrel anymore. I've met a lot of people over the years, a lot of friends, a lot of family. And one of the biggest things that I've tried to live by on the Marine side of the house is know yourself, seek self-improvement. That you can learn not only from the old, but from the young. When I was a corporal picking up sergeant, I learned some stuff from Lance Corporal Gallardo, or Michael Gallardo, Lance Corporal Harris. Over the years, we've all lost people, and I still carry their memory. Lance Corporal Barr, Fox Company 27. That's our best. Fox 27. Lance Corporal Busher, 3rd Battalion, 1-4 Bravo Company. Lance Corporal Lynch, Tow Platoon. And I carry those memories when I talk to the Marines, because it's important to me. It's important to me that nowadays Marines just don't do what they told, but they know the why behind it. The issue we have nowadays with some of you young Marines is you want to know the why now. It don't work like that. But I've always tried, hey, get it done, and then afterwards I'll explain why. If I can explain it to you, I'll explain it to you. If not, I'll do it afterwards. George Company CO, up there in the bleachers. There, Captain Brockmeyer and myself. So, I came back from my sabbatical, as I call it, of almost 6 months. Battalion deploys. I begged, I pleaded, I sent emails to join them on deployment, and I was stuck back with RBE. Now, if you can imagine a suppo and a dumb grunt trying to figure out and learn the language of adminese with all these people that were trying to get kicked out, and it was a mess, but we got it done, sir. You know, and that's a testament to the man up there. He knew when to keep me reined in, and he knew when to, I'll just say, depart the area for a little bit while I took care of business. So, thank you, Cody. Yes, I remember your horseshoe. So, I know it seems like I'm rambling, and I probably am. And the one thing I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind, I've been in the shoes of some of y'all when a retirement ceremony, and the guy's up there just running his suck for 45 minutes. And you're like, when is he going to stop talking? You know, when are we going to start drinking beer? But you know what? for the first time in 22 years, this is my freaking day. All right, so I'm going to freaking talk. All right, I'll try not to keep it too much longer. But reality is, I love the Marine Corps. I love Marines, and whether that is literally kicking them in the ass or patting them on the back, I will always love them, whether they're in or they're out. And I hope you two know that if you ever need anything, just give me a call. I gotta go back there. When I was out in 323, that's when the beast really started rising. I always knew I was crazy, but I wasn't clinically diagnosed until I was out there in Arkansas. And if it wasn't for you, Eric, helping me being there by my side, I'd be a complete basket case right now. So, the phone calls, emails for you, Danny. My brown brother from another mother. I will, you know that you call in the middle of the night, I don't care, I'm there. So, I think it was General Patton that said this, and I'm not quite sure. I am big on military history, because especially in the infantry, if you don't look at what we did in the past, you're going to end up making the same damn mistakes in the future. But I think it was General Patton said, or one of those, and somebody else could correct me, is there's a saying that soldiers don't die, they just grow old and fade away. To me, that makes no freaking sense. And I look at it like this. I'm a Marine. I retire, I'm a Marine. I die, I'm still am a Marine. As is anybody else who ever wears this uniform. Because whether you know it or not, you affect people higher and lower than you. And that little bit carries on to the next Marine. And then to the next Marine. And then to the next Marine. So we never die. As long as there is a Marine Corps, as long as there is a Marine alive, we never die. That's what I think about the Marine Corps. Honor, courage, commitment. These are just not catchphrases. This is what we should be doing. The climate that we are in now and the heavy schedule workup, technology, which I hate, but I have learned to use. It seems like we're always so busy that we forget about the Marine on the freaking streets fighting the fight. The ones that are out there taking the damn bullet. And to me, that's a shame. Because at the end of the day, it's that PFC, that Lance Corporal, that Corporal, that Sergeant. They're the ones fighting the freaking fight. Kicking down the doors. So we just need to learn collectively to remember that. I don't say this to baby your Marines. Hell no. Work their asses off. But make sure you take care of them. There's on the back of your programs, there is a poem that I had placed on there. And I first saw this in 1999 when I went to squad leaders course as a Lance Corporal at Camp Pendleton. Back then, they would have a whole bunch of quotes and motivational quotes and everything. And I was reading them in the hallway one day, and I came across this. And I have used this ever since. I posted outside my office, and for those of you who do not have a program, or even if you do, I'm going to read it to you. So, a little background. It says that this was found on a dead Marine in the Quang Tri province of Vietnam back in 1969. I've done research on this, and I can't confirm or deny if it was actually written, but I like to think so. And I think there's a lot of parallels from this to today. So it goes, a Marine dies. Take a man, put him alone. Put him 12,000 miles from home. Empty his heart of all but his blood. Make him live in sweat and mud. This is the life I have to live. This the soul to the devil I give. You have your parties and drink your beer while young men are dying over here. Plant your signs on the White House lawn, let's get out of Vietnam. Use your signs and have your fun, then you refuse to use a gun? There's nothing else for you to do, then I'm supposed to die for you. There is one thing that you don't know, and that's where I think you should go. I'm already here and it's too late. I've traded all my love just for hate. I'll hate you till the day I die. You made me hear my buddy cry. I saw his leg and his blood shed. Then I heard them say, this one's dead. It was a large price for him to pay to let you live another day. He had the guts to fight and die, to keep the freedom you live by. By his dying, your life he buys. But who gives a damn if a Marine dies? I say there's a lot of parallels from then to now. War first started, everybody wanted the Marines in there. War died down, and now we have civilians out there picketing our funerals. But the answer to the question, who gives a damn if a Marine dies? His family does. His friends do. And God damn it, his freaking fellow Marines do also. Because that's what we are. We're a brotherhood. It doesn't matter what unit you're from. On your warrant, it doesn't say Sergeant of 1st Platoon, Fox Company. You're a Sergeant of Marines. You're a Corporal of Marines. You're a Sergeant Major of Marines. And that's what I challenge. Eric told me once, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten. I was in his office one day complaining about one of the new changes, the female integration. I was hot. One of the best pieces of advice is he said, dog, things change in the Marine Corps. You either change with it, or you become part of the problem and you get the hell out. And right then I was like, you're absolutely right. They can do the job, Why am I getting upset about it? I don't affect policy. I don't make policy. My job is to make sure that it is enforced and that we treat all Marines, regardless of sex, race, religion, as a damn Marine. And as I told my boys before, you act like a Marine, I'll treat you like a Marine. You act like a child, I'll treat you like a child. But that's what we need to do. Apologize. Did you bring the tears? No? All right. So, I just had to say that. I really don't mean to be scatterbrained right now. I know I said before, you gotta know where you came from so you know where you're going. Korea, Guidon, Fox Company. I was there 2001, 2000, when the society came down and presented that to Fox Company. First thing I did when I got to Fox Company is, where is it? It was behind the company gunny's wall locker, wrapped up, covered in dust. You ask a Marine at that point in time what Fox Hill was, and they give you a blank freaking stare. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So we pulled it out, and it's been with us ever since. And it goes out to the field still, I hope. And, because that's our heritage. That's Fox Company right there. When the new CO of Fox Company checked it, and we all know this in units, the logos always change. It's like, oh no, I want this, I want this, I want that. The one thing I asked the new CO was, whatever you do, please do not change the Fox Company logo, because that is heritage, that is history. And so far, we still have it. One of the first sergeants used to call it the drunken fox. I just say, hey, we are crazy like a fox. I was Fox from the day I got into Marine Corps. Fox Company, 2nd Battalion, Recruit Training Battalion, Paris Island. I don't really count those first 4 years because I was a young, dumb idiot. And I really believe when I checked into Fox Company in '99, that's where I cut my teeth. That's where I learned about the Marine Corps and what it was to be a Marine from people such as Mark over there. So I've told this to Colonel Steele and Colonel Keating and some of y'all. 2-7's my home. It will always be my home. All the operating forces I've been in have been part of the Blue Diamond. I've traveled outside to Pendleton. Why they don't move all units to Pendleton and just allow us to come here and train, I think that would do so well with troop welfare. You know, for those of you who live in 29 Palms and you know who you are, for you younger ones that are out there, all you do is complain about getting off work. And what are you doing? You're sitting in your room playing your video games because there's nothing to do in 29 Palms. And then as soon as you get off, what do? Oh, thank God I'm off. You take your blouse off, you sit down, you start playing your video game again. The best thing about 29 Palms is get the hell out of 29 Palms on the weekends. You got Havasu, Vegas, San Diego. Holy crap. Think outside the box here. So, 22 years, and it's finally over. I joke around and say, now I got to figure out what I'm going to do when I grow up. Because, you know, I've been playing G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter for the past 22 years. But it's a new adventure, it's a new challenge, and I'm welcoming it. One of the things I brought to Fox Company is lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. To me, what that means is, in order to be a good Marine, a good leader, first of all, you need to know how to follow. And sometimes following means taking that direct order, and sometimes it means you need to start thinking outside the box. That's how good followers become good leaders. And when you can't lead or follow anymore, you need to get the hell out of the way. Because the train's not going to stop. Even at Fox Company, when we had an instance with frickin' old machine gunner, frickin' what did I do? Cody, what did I do? I kicked him out. Well, he was strategically transferred to weapons company for a second chance. And he blew that, but that's not my fault. You know, he was within weapons. So, with that being said, you know, in 22 years, I've followed, I've led, and now it's time for me to get the hell out of the way. So with that, I'm dropping the pat. So, thank you for everybody for coming out here. My name is Gunnery Sergeant Tollison. I'm a Marine like my father before me. And the Marines that know me, they know me as Pappy.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor those who have served in 1st Marine Division, the division song, Waltzing with Silver, will now be played. The song originates from Australia, where the division maintained a training base in World War II and prepared for the island campaigns. Over the decades, 1st Marine Division's Marines and sailors have marched to war to this historic tune. We ask that those who served the division in World War II, to those currently serving in the Blue Diamond today, stand to be recognized. We respectfully request all of us to remain seated and silent to honor those absent who gave the ultimate sacrifice and those present who served with the 1st Marine Division. Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of Waltzing Matilda, please rise for the playing of Anchors Away and the Marines hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please be seated as the flag presentation will begin shortly.